Good evening, educators, all of you who work with or spend time with young children. But actually today, I'm talking to all teachers of all ages. People who do demonstrations, presentations, coaches, dance instructors, anybody that has an audience and you're doing a demonstration of something that you want them to do. I've been reminded a lot lately, in particular today, about how important that is. My daughter is in a Christmas production coming up, and one of the moves they do in one of their songs goes like this. And they use their opposite arm and leg. Okay, so she had two teachers, and one of them was doing their left leg and right arm, and one of them was doing their left arm and right leg. Okay, well, one of them was doing it correctly, and the other one was doing it correctly. What I mean by that is, one of them was doing it the way they would do it if they were performing it, and the other one was doing it in a way for teaching it. Anybody who's been in a dance class or aerobics or something like that, you know that the teacher stands in front with her back to you because you're looking at her in the mirror and she wants you to do what she's doing, right? But when you're facing your audience and you're asking them to do something and you want them to do it a certain way, they're going to do your mirror image. So if you want your people to go like this, they're going to use the same side, especially children. They're going to probably use the same side of their body that you're using. You can tell them left and right, but especially young children may or may not understand that. Just say, do my mirror image, and then they're going to do the same side, whatever that side may be. So, academically speaking, this could not be more important. When you're teaching children to write letters and numbers, shapes not so much, but letters and numbers, they can't be backwards. That could create a serious issue, right? So I have had to learn over the years to make my symbols backwards for me, not for you. So this is a 3 I just made. I'm going to do the very same thing this way. See, for me it was backwards. I had to learn to do that so that it wasn't backwards for you. Now, if that's too tricky for you, or you're still learning, or you're not interested in trying to do all of that, it doesn't matter. There's 2 ways you can fix that. Just turn your body. And you can do it the way you know how to do it, and it's the right way for you and for them. Even better, give them an actual visual. You can use a whiteboard, but I prefer a Magnadoodle because you've always got your pen with you. It never runs out of ink. Your eraser is never lost, and it just takes one quick swipe. So, excuse me. Let's make sure that we're showing students the correct way to write letters and numbers. Nobody's doing it on purpose. I'm not perfect. I'm sure I've made a backwards 3 for a group of people before. But that's why I'm talking about it today, because those teachers today weren't doing it on purpose. They don't have any idea that they were doing it. And they still don't, because I'm not going to say anything. But you have to be mindful and think about it all the time. You have to think of yourself like a performer. You are essentially giving a presentation or a performance every time you get in front of a group of children or class. So think of your area as a semicircle. So you are on the straight line, and then everybody else is on the curve. Okay? So really quickly, let me talk real quick about read-alouds. So when you're reading aloud, think about that semicircle. If you hold your book like this, then you have just cut off half of your semicircle. The only people that can see your book are the ones on this side. And as the leader or the presenter, it's your job to make sure that everybody's learning. So you must hold the book on your straight part of your semicircle so that everybody can see. I know that this sounds very basic, but again, nobody's doing it on purpose. You're just trying to read the words, right? And so you might accidentally find yourself, or you might not even realize you've got your book where half your people can't see. So make sure you have your book on the line, and then you're the one that makes the adjustment. You lean forward a little bit so that you can see the words. making sure that no one is behind you that can't see. And if that's not comfortable for you, or you haven't quite gotten the hang of that, it's okay. It's perfectly acceptable to read the words and do it librarian style, I call it, and then show the pages. Make sure you do it slowly. And the benefit of this method is that you have a moment to ask questions or have a little chat about what they're seeing as you go around and show the words. Again, you're using that semicircle starting way over here, not fast, but all the way around your semicircle. Make sure they can see. All right, one more thing on the backwards. So when you're asking your students to draw with you, if you're demonstrating and you say, okay, everybody, around a tree and around a tree, that's the way you make a 3, do it with me. Make sure you're doing it backwards or doing it on something or doing it this way. But also, when you are, for instance, saying words slowly in a writer's workshop lesson, or moms and dads, if you're helping your kids at home do writing, I like to stretch out my words, and some people do it like this, but that's not how really words work. So I'm getting a little off task. I could do a writer's workshop video, but I start at the beginning and I only pull to the right, because that's the direction we read and that's the direction we write. And I'm making sure, so say they're writing cat, you say cat, and you're doing it this direction because that's what you want them to learn to do. The same thing on any kind of sequencing activities. You wouldn't say first, second, third. To me, that's right, because I'm going left to right for myself. But you have to be mindful, again, what they're seeing. First, second, third. Or whatever you're doing, just always be mindful, because you're not doing it on purpose. Nobody is doing it on purpose. You just have to keep that at the front of your mind. You have to think like a performer. What are they seeing from their point of view? What are they hearing? What's going on in their mind, and how is it coming across to them? You always have to keep that, I said the front of your mind, but at least the back of your mind. You're always thinking about that. Okay, I hope that was helpful, and if it was, please let me know. If it wasn't, please let me know. And if you think somebody else could benefit from it, please pass it along. Feel free. I would love it. I'm always looking for new ideas and new people to give me feedback, so do it. I also have a YouTube channel. It's also Tayler'd Education. So pass it along. Thank you for watching, and happy presenting. Good night.